Language testing may be coming for certain temporary work permits. Canada is proposing new language testing rules for certain temporary foreign workers under the International Mobility Program. If approved, some applicants may soon need to prove proficiency in English or French to obtain a work permit. If you are interested in this topic, please pay attention and watch the video through to the end to get all the information. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to push the notification bell for an upcoming video. So, without any further delay, let's jump into the video. In a significant policy development, the Canadian government is proposing new amendments to the Immigration and Refugee Protection Regulations that may soon affect how temporary foreign workers apply for work permits under the International Mobility Program. Key takeaways: language requirements coming for certain temporary workers. In the near future, some temporary foreign workers in Canada may be required to demonstrate proficiency in either English or French to obtain a work permit. These changes are specifically being proposed for participants in Canada's International Mobility Program, a broad umbrella that includes several work permit categories exempt from the Labour Market Impact Assessment. Proposed changes for temporary worker language testing. Currently, foreign nationals applying for work permits through the International Mobility Program are not required to demonstrate proficiency in an official language. But that may soon change. On July 16, 2025, Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada released a regulatory initiative notice outlining a proposed amendment to language requirements for the IMP. Under the amendment, IMP applicants would need to submit results from an approved language proficiency test as part of their work permit application. The government has said the proposed regulations will be published for a 30-day public comment period sometime in the spring or summer of 2025, opening the door for them to take effect by the end of the year. Which IMP pathways could be affected? The International Mobility Program encompasses a wide range of work permit pathways. Some of the most prominent ones include reciprocal youth exchange agreements, such as the International Experience Canada Program. International trade agreements, including the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, Trans-Pacific Partnership, and the Canada-EU Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement. Intracompany transfers, allowing companies to move employees to Canadian branches. Bridging open work permits, for individuals transitioning to permanent residency. Post-graduation work permits, for international graduates of eligible Canadian institutions. Cultural and social benefit pathways, such as the Mobilite Francophone initiative. Some of these programs already involve language testing, particularly the Francophone pathways and PGWP in most cases. However, others, especially IEC and intracompany transfers, have traditionally not required proof of language ability. The new regulation could change that. PGWP language testing requirements already in effect. As of November 1, 2024, most international graduates applying for a post-graduation work permit are already required to prove their proficiency in either English or French. The only notable exception currently is graduates of PGWP-eligible flight schools. It remains unclear whether these exceptions will be maintained once the new rules are finalized. SOWP language testing may be next. Another category that could soon face language testing is the Spousal Open Work Permit. This permit allows the spouse or common law partner of a skilled worker or international student to work in Canada. The federal government has recently imposed stricter criteria on who qualifies for a SOWP, and the inclusion of language testing would be in line with the overall goal of tightening this category. Why is the government doing this? According to IRCC, the goal of the proposed language testing requirements is to improve the reliability, transparency, and efficiency of the International Mobility Program. The government wants to ensure that only workers who are well-positioned to succeed in Canada's labour market and potentially transition to permanent residence are granted work permits. This regulatory move is also closely tied to the broader objectives outlined in Canada's Immigration Levels Plan for 2025 to 2027. What happens next? While no exact date has been confirmed for implementation, the government is expected to release the proposed regulations for public consultation within the coming months. Once the 30-day comment period concludes, IRCC may move quickly to finalize and enforce the new requirements. If that happens, some temporary work permit applicants under the IMP could be required to take and pass a language proficiency test as early as late 2025. Conclusion: a major shift for IMP applicants. The proposed language testing requirements mark a major shift in Canadian immigration policy for temporary workers under the International Mobility Program. While the details remain uncertain, it's clear the government is aligning work permits more closely with long-term integration goals. Prospective applicants and employers should begin preparing now for a future where language proficiency could become a key eligibility factor, potentially reshaping who gets to work in Canada on a temporary basis. While final decisions are pending, these changes signal a shift towards stricter eligibility for temporary workers. Applicants should prepare for possible language test requirements by late 2025. That is all for today, in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later, in the next video. Till then, take care.